Dropping off or picking up my children from play dates, I found myself in the kitchen with the empleadas. When invited to parties, I was the only Latina other than the serving staff. What finally impelled me to write Américas Dream was my sense that the people who hired housekeepers and nannies had no interest in the women's histories or their inner lives. They hired them to make their own lives easier, and didn't want to know more beyond the work the empleadas were expected to perform. They were supposed to be, and made themselves, invisible. A beginning is merely a moment in a continuum. My grandmother, my aunts, and my mother all worked as empleadas in private homes and hotels. Puerto Rico is the last colony in the American hemisphere. We, the descendants of patriarchal and colonizing societies, carry our histories as burdens, unobtrusive to others, but to us as familiar as our own shadows. Like America, some of us are unaware just how deeply we've been shaped by those forces. I struggle with it daily, but have dedicated myself to making our lives visible, and in the process ask you, dear reader, and listener, to see us. The problem with Rosalinda. It's her life, and she's in the middle of it, on her knees, scrubbing behind a toilet at the only hotel on the island. She hums a bolero, a love song filled with longing. She's always humming, sometimes a ballad, sometimes a lilting cha-cha-cha. Often she sings out loud. Most of the time, she's not even aware of the pleasing music that comes from her and is surprised when tourists tell her how charming it is that she sings as she works. The tiles are unevenly laid behind the toilet, and she catches a nail on the corner of one and tears it to the quick. Ay! Still on her knees, she moves to the sink and runs cold water over her middle finger. The bright pink crescent of her nail hangs by the cuticle. She bites it off, drawing salty blood. America! The scream bounces against the concrete walls of La Casa del Francés. America scrambles up, finger still in mouth, and leans out of the bathroom window. Her mother runs back and forth along the path at the side of the hotel, peering up at the second floor. What is it? Ay, nena, get down here. Esther wails and collapses into a squat, hands over her face. What is it, Mommy? What's the matter? From above, Esther is a circle of color on the path, the full skirt of her flowered house dress, a ring around narrow shoulders, brown arms, and pink curlers on copper hair. She rocks from side to side, sobs with the gusto of a spoiled child. For an instant, America considers a shortcut through the window. Seeing her mother from above, small and vulnerable, sets her heart racing, and a lump forms in her throat that threatens to choke her. I'm coming, Mommy, she yells, and she runs through the guest room, down the stairs, around the courtyard, out the double doors of the front veranda, past the gardenia bushes, through the gate to the side garden, and down the path, where Esther still squats, still wails as if the world were coming to an end. Sleepy guests lean out of their windows or step onto porches, concerned expressions clouding their vacation faces. Don Irving, the owner of the hotel, runs heavily from the back of the building, reaching Esther at the same time as America. What's gone on here? He bellows in English. What's all the screaming about? I don't know. America kneels next to Esther. Mommy, please, what's the matter? Ay, mija. Esther is hyperventilating and can't get the words out. America's breathing quickens and a whirling pressure builds around her head. Please, Mommy, what is it? What's happened? Esther shakes her head, sprinkling the air with tears. She presses both hands against her chest as if to control its rising and falling. She gulps air and, in a halting voice that rises to a final wail, gives America the news.